how big do these get? How big are these insurance policies getting? Like it covers the whole thing. So if I went and bought a $2 million, $4 million mansion or whatever, I guess that'd be a house around here. But
Yeah.
I'm from Missouri,
Right. Oh.
so we can.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's a great point.
But like here, if we go, okay, cool. You know, is it covering like big ticket items? How
Yeah.
big does your insurance policies go up?
Yeah. So I love that you brought up Missouri because the main part of a home insurance policy is the dwelling coverage. And the dwelling coverage covers the reconstruction value of the house. So oftentimes people think that the dwelling coverage is supposed to match their loan amount, but that's not true.
Oh,
because
gotcha.
a loan amount includes land, land value.
Right, acreage. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So like if you took a house and plucked it off the land in Carlsbad and moved it to Missouri, the house in Carlsbad is like $2 million, and then the house in Missouri is probably like $500,000, right? Yeah. So your dwelling coverage doesn't include the land value. So if you have a $2 million home in Carlsbad, but it would only cost $500,000 to rebuild, your dwelling coverage is the $500,000, not the $2 million.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because you're not covering. This is where it gets into our landscaping.
Right.
I have another $1 million in my landscaping over here, and I got all the pipes in the ground. I got the aerated, I got
the
heated
the
pool.
hot tub,
yeah,
the barbecue.
Right. So
for all your parties.
And I'm not technically dwelling there.
Right.
Is that covered?
No. So the dwelling coverage covers the structure of the home itself, but then you can add separate structure coverage, which covers anything that's part of the property that's not attached to the house itself. Oh, cool. So your concrete, your landscaping, your pool, your barbecue, your fences, all that is part of separate structure coverage. So let's say you have $500,000 in dwelling coverage, like we were talking before. Typically, separate structure coverage is 10%. So you'd have like $50,000 in separate structure coverage.
Cool.
But you can increase that. I mean, in Carlsbad, we love our backyards, right? We live outside here. We're so lucky. So oftentimes, you want to increase your separate structure coverage to make sure your backyard's properly covered.
Is locked in also.
Yeah.
So because when we say dwelling, this place we live, if we have an external unit, does that still, like if there's a garage?
Right.
Because a lot of fires can happen in there, accidents can happen in the garage very easily. Like, is that different? Is this another policy that you're adding on?
Well,
or is that included with the structure?
If it's not attached, if you have a garage that's detached, it's technically covered under the separate structure coverage, like we just talked about.
Cool.
So if you have like a pool house or a garage or a granny flat, you'd want to increase your separate structure coverage to make sure that is covered.
Awesome.
So yeah. And there's different types of homeowners insurance because if you buy a home and you're living in it, then you need homeowners insurance for owner-occupied residence, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a totally separate policy if you're like a landlord. You're buying it as a rental unit.
Oh, gotcha.
Because
okay.
You probably don't have your stuff in there. Your renters probably have their stuff. So landlord policies are totally different. Instead of having loss of use, so it wouldn't pay for the person to go get a hotel, like I said before, but it would cover the loss of rents. Because that's what a landlord is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They'll pay the rent for you.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what you're worried about, right? If you have a house and it burns down and your renters move out and aren't paying you rent.
Right, and there's your cash flows just went down,
Yeah, so a landlord policy will pay those loss of rents while it's being rebuilt.
Okay.
Yeah, so the different homeowners policies have different coverages.
So let's go.